Indy a 4.5-point favorite. Total in the game, 44.5. Brad, how are you betting Texans and Colts?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Nico Collins indeed goes nuclear. I'm going to take him 70-plus receiving yards at a plus 104. Little baby seduced by the juice on that one. The Colts have been pretty stellar defensively in the back end. They're number 9 this season in dropback EPA defense. However, they've given up the 8th most wide receiver yards of any team in the NFL. 8 guys, the Ocho, have gotten to at least 70 yards. Now, Nico, I fully suspect, are getting a whole lot of Sauce Gardner. And Gardner's been excellent in coverage, giving up just a 46.9% catch rate over the entirety of the season, including his days earlier this year with the Jets. Also giving up an 89.1 passer rating and 13.9 yards per catch. But Collins, he's a volume king. He's averaging 8.1 targets per game. He's number 12 in total air yards among all qualifying wide receivers. He's top 15 yards per route run, and the trend has been thy friend. He has gone to the 70-yard mark in 3 of his last 4. It's not like C.J. Stroud is going to be back in uniform, and Stroud could really uncork down the field. Nice little chemistry and rhythm and flow that he's established over the last couple of seasons with Nico Collins. So for him to get to 70 yards at plus money against the Colts in a game that's got some sneaky pew shootout appeal, count me in.
All right, Brad going with Nico Collins. I'm going to take the Texans, plus 4.5 in the game against the Colts. I don't really understand this line movement, Brad. It went up from 3.5, which was the open, to 4.5. Texans are off extended rest. They played on that Thursday game against the Bills. And then the Colts are off that overtime game against Kansas City at just a hard-fought game, crushing loss. Those are the kind of things I look for in the NFL, are teams that are coming off emotional road losses. You get back on the plane, it's quiet, nobody wants to talk with one another, you're pissed off that you lost, and that could have some lingering effects going into the next week, and it better not. They better flush it, because they obviously got a massive game on Sunday against the Texans. But man, when you're giving me this amount of points with that defense in a divisional game, Stroud's going to be back likely, like you said. I'll take the Texans all day. So I like Houston plus the 4.5. I think the Colts probably win the game, but I think it's going to be super close. Brad, who do you like to win that game on Sunday?
Yeah, look, I got a gut feeling Houston's going to pull it out. I really honestly do. Now, I mean, of course, the biggest, it's not even an X factor. He's a major factor. Jonathan Taylor, right? If Jonathan Taylor gets like a magic number of 80, 85 yards on the ground, it's a wrap. It's over. Sayonara. See you later. Chances are he'll probably find the end zone as well. But if he is held under wraps to a certain extent, maybe has a clunker like he did last week, only finishes around 75 yards on the ground or fewer, then I think Houston wins. It's really that simple because Taylor is what really makes this Colts team tick. But the Texans are number 1 in the NFL in total defense in terms of the EPA data. They've been outstanding. They're restrictive. They put a stranglehold in the trenches. So if their run gap coverage is plunging those holes and wrapping Jonathan Taylor up for only like 2-3 yard gains consistently, I think Houston wins, and I believe that will happen. So give me the Texans.
Wow, Brad going with the Texans, pull the upset against the Colts. Were there any props that you were considering with the Colts? Maybe like unders because of how great that Houston defense is. I'm trying to figure out ways to either bet on or bet against this Houston defense because their pass rush is so great. Is this a game maybe we look at like a Daniel Jones rushing yards prop in a must-win game like this? You figure the Colts are going to lean heavy on Jonathan Taylor. BetMGM is rushing attempts 20.5 is plus 100. How would you maybe look to attack that Texans defense, whether it be over or unders? Any props that maybe stood out to you when you were looking at the game?
Dude, you're inside my mind right now because earlier today, I immediately fired on a Daniel Jones over on rush yards. That number was just 12.5. And what the one area of susceptibility for Houston has been giving up those rush yards to the quarterback position. Opportunistic guys. I mean, 6 guys hit the 20-yard mark at the quarterback position on the ground against them. And Daniel Jones is springy. He's spry. He may run the ball 4 or 5 times in this one. And that could be an X factor is him reading, reacting, and, with them keying on Jonathan Taylor, maybe he's going to drop back in the pocket. He's going to look down the field. Michael Pittman's covered. Tyler Warren ain't open. Josh Downs has got a guy on his back. So he's like, well, they're giving me a bunch of green grass in front of me. I'll just run and take off and then slide for a 10-yard gain. I mean, that could be a one-run cash in ORC. I was talking about the OCC. Yeah, you know me, which stands for one catch cash. But this could be on a single gallop. Daniel Jones get the over on 12.5 rush yards. So, yes, I did fire off on that. You don't believe me? Go to my website, thegamingjuice.com. I got a spreadsheet there. Every single bet I put on the spreadsheet, I actually bet on, and I track it. Win, lose, draw, downright ugly. I'm all about transparency, and I did indeed wager on that earlier today. So, yeah, I think Daniel Jones gets it done on the ground.